5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to ban. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. OG's turn to ban. Radiant team ban.
Game 1 of this best of 3 coming your way here. DreamLeague Season 15, powered by Intel, upper division of the Western European DPC League. And yes, we already know who takes the crown, but who will be the bridesmaid? Is that how I say it? No?
What the?
Who will
What
be
are you
third?
on? What are you on about?
Just second, third, and
Who's
fourth.
getting married?
It's fine. We have a draft ahead of us. We got OG, we got Team NIGMA, and we have bans so far. Here's also Kyle and Tika. I got Asian Operation again. First phase picked. Aya Willow ban. Alchemist Lion ban. Very different from our previous series.
Big winner from the last time we saw Enigma. Of course, Miracle wasn't playing, but this time Miracle is going to be playing. But when RMN stood in for them and played a mid-bristleback, even though sure it was a stand-in scenario, that hero alone, just it was so strong.
Dude,
and
the bat as well, though.
Yeah, and I've checked Miracle, and he has been playing a couple Bristle games in his pubs. So maybe RMN stands in, plays mid-Bristle, suddenly Miracle's a fan. I would love to see it at some point in this series.
Yep, I like the opening ban and pick is just kind of what you expect when you've got teams and captains of this experience level. Alchemist and Wisp specifically are game breakers. However you play them, they completely alter the way you need to be playing Dota. AA denies a lot of the sustain heroes. Notably,
from like bushwhack, sharpshooter from a distance. AA can just apply vortex to amp that damage, and now it's like a lot of poke and prod. So here's like Tiny, where they need to initiate. If they fail that initiation, they're instantly able to retreat, lock them in place, and then just kill them up quite quickly.
This will be the first Tiny for Team NIGMA of the entire Season 2 of the DPC League. They play Warlock a bunch, obviously, but first Tiny.
very Kuroki hero. Yeah. It's real chill. Probably the most fun hero to play cap.
Maybe they've seen that they're Radiant. Maybe they've seen the toss.
That's true.
Into the tree line.
That was
just shouting myself out there, but you know, maybe they've seen it.
Well, even if they did, I don't think they're gonna do it.
I mean,
it requires you to be a lot of time away from the lane, right?
No,
and two
not
people
at all.
need to be.
No, you do it quite quickly. You're with the lane. The point I'm making is basically you can toss range creeps into the trees so that you always have an advantage.
You should definitely do that with the first one.
Yeah, no, that's the point. You just do it for the first wave. Get level 2. But anyway, most likely we'll just be a tiny mid, just to not overcomplicate the situation here.
All right, we got a lot of thought being put into these bans because
OG is actually banning out mids as well. So that I think it is just going to be a tiny 4. Okay. I guess in most scenarios for OG, when they pick up when they get to the draft where they go, all right, X player, please tell me what you want to play right now. They pick it and then they instantly ban what that person wants as well. So most likely this is Topson going, if I'm playing a mid hook, I don't want to play into a puck or heroes that have their own disjoint to deal with the kind of slower stuns and type of damage that this mid hook will apply. I guess kite is the key thing.
And a lot of time being spent. I feel like we've seen this a lot as the season's dragged on. More and more time being spent on the middle bans than even the picks, because typically during this phase, you're already game planning for what you want to do and how your draft will complete. So notably, this Hoodwink and the Tiny, what will they be? Are they going mid? Are they playing 4? So far, it does feel like OG, as you stated, based on this ban. Okay, PL. That'd be an interesting. I thought NIGMA would potentially look at picking that up. What actually beats Hoodwink?
They're simply banning heroes that remove the bonds. They want to ensure that this carry, this Warlock, has just an ability to annoy that carry. And Legion, PL, they might even look towards like a Slark as well. Because if it's a tiny 4, playing into Slark, it's going to be difficult. Like maybe a Baden, depending on what strat OG wants. But yeah. Then they ban out 2 staples. I think Miracle's playing an exceptional puck, and of course RTW, his Jug and Void have been kind of the 2 highlight heroes so far in DPC.
I like the Void ban too, because again, Warlock's real ultimate is Fatal Bonds in a lot of ways. Void is more of a lower damage hero, which provide obviously a ton of control. Fatal Bonds just is a built-in steroid. It doesn't necessarily make the Void stronger, but suddenly you don't need to worry as much about your damage and chrono.
Yeah, the key thing for NIGMA here is break mechanics are pretty hard to come by. So naturally, when you think of a patch that is driven by Vanguard buyers in the off lane, potentially the Bristleback mid, these heroes will just feel a little bit underwhelming when they are broken by this ultimate, be it a core Hoodwink or be it support.
Yep. Definitely no Bristle. That hero is 100% dead.
Especially with the AA as well. Like, it's so hard to pick frontliners right now. Thank you, Fogged.
Fogg's
what did he say?
No, yeah, Fogged was egging Carl on to say damage manipulation. It's what OG has thrived on during multiple TIs.
Nice American accent.
Thank you.
I was not going to say
I've been working, I've been working for Carl some time.
I would hope that the
I know his mannerisms now.
By now.
His effective HP pull.
Oh my God.
10 seconds remaining.
All right, we are out of this second ban phase.
Forgot about Solar Chris. And Vlad's. Vlad's is underpicked. Just saying, as is Drums and Veil, but that's a whole other story. Veil, I think, is one of the more underutilized.
Veil's nutty.
It's what, 1575 gold,
spell amp,
18% spell amp. Nobody picks it up. You can start with a Bassi, makes it barely over 1,000 gold. It's like, come on, guys. And that's why I'm on the desk. I like the Centaur band because, to your point, you're not picking it if you're NIGMA.
Okay, yeah, now it's
mid Hoodwink.
Every single pick now, bam, being given a bit more emphasis.
I think it's on our side.
It is very much our side, yeah.
Okay.
We're adding some layers to this
the NASL sound guy somewhere in the building.
He's loving life.
All right. So we got the Clockwork, the Warlock, and the Tiny. And that means that which one of those other than Warlock is the core?
I think, yeah.
Tiny then?
Yeah, so Tiny right now will be your mid lane most likely. I think the key thing for OG in their style of draft now is it's going to be Satsuko on the Earth Spirit, rolling in, being the sacrificial lamb.
Are you sure about that?
It could be Topson's Earth Spirit.
That is true.
Are you sure? It could be Topson Ancient Apparition.
That's true.
It could be its option Hoodwink. Who knows? Sorry, T, go for it.
So yeah, like I was saying, the key point, no matter who's playing it, Earth Spirit was the one initiating the fight, allowing everyone else. So whoever is playing Earth Spirit, they will be the sacrificial lamb in this draft. They will be down a couple times to unlock the type of damage, which is non-committal backline damage. So NIGMA, they identify that where it's basically one go in, backline's undefended. They
10
have
seconds
Darkseid to help the Clockwork get into the engagement, and it's a lot of backline jump.
It's also a pipe buyer, which is always nice against a hero like AA. You can surge away from the cold feed, of course, and more importantly, I think that when we heard this from Kuro. What do they like to play? They like to play fast.
Yeah.
They want to be aggressive. That match you mentioned against Secret was their reveal of the Darkseer and the Sand King mid from Miracle. That was one of the best matches I feel like they've played. They won the game in 25 minutes. This is the style that I think allows this team to reach that S tier status. In theory, they'll also be able to ensure Mind Control actually has a good game. When they lose, it's typically because he gets sacrificed.
Okay. Wow. All right. They go for the Medusa. So I guess my main concern for OG in their lineup so far was simply what is their win condition. They have a lot of skirmish and fight, but like this has to be a core hoodwink in my opinion. They need to be able to buy items to have wave clear.
Yep.
Because outside of this hero, no one's going to be pushing out waves. And if it's a support hoodwink, you just don't do enough damage to clear out the waves without Veil.
What's the Seb hero?
5 seconds.
The Seb hero, well, they don't have last pick in the draft.
Very bad Axe game.
I mean,
It could
Seb
just be
normally does
Bloodseeker.
play the tanky ones, right? So it's just not picked up yet.
I think Bloodseeker is a very good ban for Enigma. I think OG, that would work really well for OG.
They
I
ban
can
out
see it.
Magnus.
It's all about movement right now. Even maybe a Mars as well could be pretty good just for like area control. If they initiate, you drop the arena, you Medusa fortifies position.
10 seconds.
They could
remaining.
also, I mean, Omni and Baden are still in the pool.
Radiant
It's quite
team
nice
back.
when you're playing against Warlock, removing the bonds and the word.
Ban drought, okay.
Both of those solid bans because they would give Nigma's output, damage output. Like the Drow allows you to play really fast. The AM means that they'd eventually win in the late game.
So in this regard, then you have two options, right? With a Drow ban, you might look towards like a Tide Hunter as an
10
option, where you just go for
seconds
more.
remaining.
We'll have a front line.
I think
fight
Mars is
for-
more likely. I
5
agree with you, but I think
seconds
in their concept, they just want a frontliner. They want a little bit of team fight, lowest cooldowns possible.
I just want, personally, I think Bloodseeker. That's what I would love to see. Have a bit more laning presence with the Earth Spirit, give him some kill potential. And then right now it's 4 protect 1 with Nigma's style. There's a lot of elevation of kind of putting one hero up into the fight. If that guy gets ruptured, it's going to be hard to, you know, really help him without then getting hit by the rest of OG spells.
And the question is, what does
10
Nigma go
seconds
for? I could
remaining.
see Troll being a possibility, but no, not really. Not into all these kiting
Radiant
spells in the
team
AA Ultimate.
There it is. There's the Bloodseeker.
Good
They
call,
have
sir.
they have amp on amp on amp. And Fogged, I'm going to pre-warn you,
Damage
he is going to salivate at this draft, and he is going to spend at least 2.5 minutes of his cast talking about how AA and Bloodseeker and everything together is going to hit a combination of Hoodwink having a good time.
There's a draft
Preempting,
that's going to
yeah.
buy a Veil. It's going to
Yeah.
be this one. This is an absurd amount of spell damage that can
5
pop out. And I
seconds
believe we'll
remaining.
hopefully see the first mid Hoodwink of this entire upper division DPC.
Yeah, that would be hype.
It's possible that it's still the Earth Spirit, but I think it's much more likely that it's going to be Hoodwink here. Now, Tiny's likely on Vamp for Miracle.
Yep.
See how well his Sumail impression will do.
They just go terrible. Wow.
Wait.
Okay.
Okay.
That
What is
was
that
a
for?
TV.
Is that LTW?
RTW, yeah.
LTW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah.
If you're saying
All right.
Miracle's going to play Tiny.
You're right. No,
Yeah.
it's just...
All right.
Yeah, and Thompson the
There
Hoodwink
it is.
mid. All right.
Okay, so in regards to Nigma, they last picked this Terrorblade. It is a hero that can lane against the type of damage of OG because you have the Warlock behind you. Without Warlock, it's kind of hard to pick this hero into the spam of Bloodseeker, but Earth Spirit doesn't apply as much pressure. So yeah, TB should have a pretty good time farming, and it's all about hitting that 20 or so minute timing, running over the map. Because eventually, this amp, this high ground defense from OG is scary.
I'm afraid because OG, how do you... Enigma need BKBs. They need BKBs. But at the same time, their whole draft has like one method of catching heroes. You're going to run behind the clockwork. Maybe Miracle pops off because his Blink Dagger timing effectively determines how aggressive they can play.
Yeah.
But I'm really... OG has it's experience-based damage. You get levels, cast spells, you kill heroes.
Positioning is key. If they ever misstep and they don't protect their backlines, that's when Enigma were on wild in this game, and it will just be a slaughter where they're just picking apart all these heroes. Like Hoodwink will feel squishy. So I think if OG gets through that phase and has items to cushion that, then it's going to be a very close, even game of just who gets the jump, etc. But yeah, I'm excited for this. This is good.
And is this for Team Nigma? We said we heard Kuro say they want to play fast. Is this a lineup that they can play fast with, or don't they need to because
100%.
Terrorblade?
They can play fast.
They can play
It's going to be a lot of early fighting to give TB the room to farm. When he gets to like SMY +1, maybe even like a Skadi or a Butterfly, that's when he'll be like, okay, I'll join in the fights too every time, and then they'll be pressuring. And that's where OG needs to capitalize on that and have the good counter plays and the big 1, 2, 3 spell damage, jump up. Folks will talk to you about that. I don't want to spoil it.
Just zoom in on the mid lane, all right?
Zoom in on the mid lane. I think everybody can agree to that. For some Hoodwink versus Tiny action, we're ready for the first game of this best of 3, and I think so are our commentary team. I've already picked someone, Fog.
Here we are, Sheev. Should be a good one here between OG and NIGMA, and I think, Fogs, we've got exactly what you want to see draft-wise from these two teams, right? I'm seeing 4 heroes on both sides that are going to be running around all the while you have Anna farming away on the DOTA, ILTW on the Terrorblade. You know, this game, it's got all the parts covered. We're going to have team fight. We're going to potentially have the big, beefy late-game carries. We got it all.
This is going to, you know, they're saying the battle of the mids. You know, I'm excited for Hoodwink versus Tiny because I haven't seen the matchup, really. I don't know how it's going to go. Tiny feels like he's going to farm just fine. You can also use your Quelling Blade to cut the tree when you do see if the stun is coming for you. But I think this is the battle of the 4s. The way that Sox has been playing for the side of OG and the way GH has been securing stuff, and I'm really liking Clockwork right now. So I'm looking at these two, seeing what they're going to be able to do inside early game, because I feel like their positioning is going to be so crucial to disrupt these big team fight combos that will be coming out, especially from the side of Team Mako. We have Darkseer and Warlock. These two heroes have been always known as these kings of team fights. So let's see if OG can break it up. And of course, I have to talk about what T-Governor was saying. Testing out a lot of things inside of lobbies, just having some fun with Spell Amp and all that. Sharpshooter with Blood Rage and Ancient Apparition Vortex, you can do some ridiculous damage in the later stages. Just looking at the numbers, they'll build toward it as well. So we'll see what it all comes down to, and we'll see how much damage it is going to be able to do, especially for something like Terrorblade. Pre-BKB, like, there's some one-shot potential if he is fully amped up. I want to see a Veil on the side of OG too, so we will see what we get going.
Here we have it. NIGMA ready to look for some action already. What's a big fatal Bonzo on the 4th, and they're on top of Saxon. GH, he will go down, but Saxon's going to be the first to fall as NIGMA claim first blood.
GH gets the kill, Thompson gets the rebuttal, so Thompson will be enabled nicely. Now I'm gonna be watching at mid and the 4 positions for the most part. Side lane still definitely will be a bit exciting, but it's a Warlock with a Terrorblade, so we'll see lots of heal sustain. Bloodseeker also, lots of heal sustain. And we'll see what Soxa does with these early movements. Instantly TPing top.
Okay.
So wants to secure Medusa's farm right away here.
And how long will this sort of last with the 3 of them up here? But like, you look to the bottom half, is Seb going to struggle a lot?
They've done this quite some times. I've seen them do these kind of things a lot of times when they see a passive hero like Warlock that can't actually force a hero out. So, you know, I said one of the times that they were actually going to break it up early on, but they actually don't. You know, they like to just leave this kind of tri-lane action when they do have these super carries on the side of OG.
Sure. Because down bottom, as what Seb, he can deal with the pressure here from the 2 of them. You know, Terrorblade, Warlock, not the most threatening of lanes. Obviously a very safe lane for RTW, right? But nothing that should be killing Seb whilst he's on his own.
No. Unless he just steps up just way too far. He will have struggled to get some last hits because we will see Kuroki just follow him around, but every time there's a Blood Right, he secures that range creep. So far, so good for Seb.
All right, and then, yeah, you know, overall, as we were saying, it's exciting stuff draft-wise from both teams. Yeah, I gotta ask, who's do you prefer? Who do you think has got the better draft here?
Oh, it's tough to say, really. Like, these Terrorblades have been very impressive lately for me, but I mean, Medusa at the same time, too.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really close to GH. The tri-lane, they will be able to get the kill with the 2 supports, and they keeping them off of the wave. Ana getting full free farm up there. I gotta be honest, I'm a little worried just because, like, Terrorblade, I feel like he could just get one-shotted from like sharpshooters and tree line. So eyes on him for BKB timings and stuff like that. And if they get the pipe early on in mind control, NIGMA could set the tempo, but it does feel a little scary if it does get to later stages.
We're gonna definitely need to see some sort of sacrificial plays from NIGMA with bodies being thrown in between the Terrorblade and the sharpshooter.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you know, we're gonna see some real sort of teammate plays this game.
Yeah, and they do have some ways to be able to play around cogs in particular. That's the one thing I did see. Clockwork got picked up. Instantly, they picked the Air Spirit. They already have Hoodwink, who can use Sharpshooter to bonk himself out really quickly. Air Spirit, you can kick the Clockwork out, even save some buddies by rolling into cogs and kick your teammate out. So, yeah, lots of different fun stuff coming out. This game is GH again.
GH! Oh,
he's able to get away.
He's all right, but he's, as you said, he's definitely sort of drawn the short straw, right? He's playing into the lane where there's one of him, there's 2 supports on OG.
Every time he gets low as well, that's where we see Seb able to thrive a little bit more bottom. The thirst stacks builds up. He's able to actually trade some hits with Kuroki and contest.
Turning, trying to get aggressive onto Saxa. Mind control.
Mind Control's low.
He's got to be a little careful
Anna's
as
gonna
well.
stay.
Anna just steps across, and Mind Control, Pop and Verify won't save him.
And now GH as well. He's just gonna go down.
Well, I think that's the easiest double kill Anna's ever had. And, well, you know, if you watch his pubs, he's had a lot of easy double kills. But, well, there you have it. Just hand it to him.
Yeah. Mid so far, fairly even. Just kind of trading that farm back and forth. The low armor of Tiny. Thompson's able to get some nice harassment there. And we haven't seen any rotations, at least toward these runes just yet. GH, actually looking like he's going to swing toward mid. Maybe going for a toss-back play, it looks like.
I return to ultimate.
And Soxa suicides himself.
And so from these mids as well, as you said, you've been seeing Thompson sort of crushing it in pubs on this hero.
A couple times.
You expect sort of what just the full playmaking build.
Oh. They cut the tree, they stop the stun.
They've got him trapped in the cogs.
But he gets out quickly.
He's away. GH tries to dive in, but the Fairy Fire's up, and with the TP over from Saxa, GH won't move in anymore. Thompson's going to be fine.
The 2 games I believe that I saw, Miracle does have to be a little bit careful. Stun. Oh. Will connect.
Oh, hello.
Roll is off, but might still just go down the toss.
It's close. Oh my goodness.
He gets him.
We're getting these moves already here. The sort of the 1% HP plays as he'll survive. Thompson not quite able to get that. Okay, Saxa's fine. Able to get to the high ground roll away.
And both offlaners, I think, are the ones that really have drawn that short straw. We see Mind Control. He's level 4, 12 last hits. We see Bloodseeker Seb, also level 4, 9 last hits. So they're the ones going to be struggling to get some enhanced timing for themselves.
Sure. I guess that's more expected in Seb's situation. So the fact that he's kind of close to Darkseer is not bad for him, seeing as he's been on his own down here.
Yes. Meta is used at the moment here. Trying to put some pressure. Soxa, off the mark there. Can't quite get any aggression onto Kuroki. I like that I've been seeing this more and more. The reflection early on these Terrorblades too. Just being able to use your mana, utilize it, and if you do see any pressure coming your way, it is just nice. It's nice to be able to utilize like the Bassi aura that the Warlock does provide.
So GH, Mind Control, trying to get aggressive onto Anna. Unlikely to have anywhere near the damage though, Anna. Oh.
They actually get on top of him though.
With these snakes, though, giving the mana back.
It's doing pretty good.
I mean, Anna's standing his ground. He's feeling confident in the back of this coming. The stance is in. Roll forward onto GH. They're going to be able to take down the clock. GH goes down. Mind Control has to hide in the trees. You saw there just the confidence of Anna and his teammates. He can stand his ground, get the hits in. Mind Control.
They know he's still up here.
He's got to hide. He does have a TP.
They did the scan on the south side, so they know he didn't go that way. But yeah, maybe expecting him to have TP'd out. As Miracle now making a rotation. He's smoked up.
Oh, and Anna's still low. Miracle, is he able to get in on this toss? Into the avalanche. He's got one. He's going to be able to take down both of them. A beautiful rotation from Miracle. Will put an end to sort of the reign that Anna's been having up here. He's been having quite a nice time indeed with the kills that he's been granted. But Miracle making the all-important move there for NIGMA.
I'm loving these early moves already. 6-5 with a Medusa and a Terrorblade in a game. Usually you expect some kind of sitting back and farm, but no, we're seeing some very active movements already coming out here. Deep ward placed. We do see that
Miracle's still top.
He is still in the area.
They're quite prepared for this move. Once again, Miracle steps in. He grabs another.
Bang, bang.
Radiant structures
Nice moves playing around that Darkseer, helping out Mind Control a little bit. He's still low, though, and he's got the thirst. Soxa might go for the snipe.
Saxa. Oh, the
ward sees him.
With the dodge. And Miracle's here, so now Saxa, he's in a bit of trouble.
He's got a full combo as well. That's very likely to just one-shot him.
Don't breathe.
The creeps.
The creeps. They've outed him.
Can you get the full combo on him? The slow. Won't be able to get the full combo.
It might just be enough with a few punches, though. And it is. Slaps him down with the big old tree. Another kill for Miracle's Tiny.
Super early movements. Thompson not going to be matching those himself this time around. So Miracle coming out ahead in this laning phase just with these early rotations. Yeah, very nice. On and now goes back. He's going to be able to farm these jungle stacks that have been prepared a little bit by Noto. But some excellent moves by Miracle, helping out the Darkseer. Mind Control definitely needed that.
I mean, for Thompson, what sort of moves do you expect to see him make? Like, where's his game going to take him early on? Are you looking towards the top? Are you looking to try and make plays onto the Terrorblade? Can you make plays onto LTW here?
I think so. It's just the bane of Terrorblade's existence is high burst magical damage, and he's got that built into this Hoodwink sharpshooter. So I do think he can make the moves bottom. And now Seb is also 6, and he is going to be going for the Veil build on the Bloodseeker. So as we mentioned, spell amp aplenty. So definitely going to be eyes on these sharpshooters as No Tail. Farm that 5 gold. I'm really excited to see how much damage it's going to do.
I see it. If they can find Micro. Micro is very low in these trees.
Dire's top tower.
As they see him. He's going to try and run. You can't run from that. Another kill here for the two of them up top.
An equipped tip.
Radiant are scanning.
Boom! There it goes.
Miracle's on the hunt again. Look at him. He is brutal this game.
He's just up and down the map.
Yeah, no mercy whatsoever with these early rotations. Buys all these early items, so won't have that early of a blink dagger, but still is able to make these movements. As we do see these deep wards placed down, of course, the ward to be able to watch if there's any stacks going on, of course, on this side. Also on the Dire side to watch out if any Ancients are being stacked, but none just yet. Asaxa and Thompson, they're looking for him. They've got the damage if they get onto him.
Hello. The Centaur, the neutral actually open up with a bit of setup here as they've got him caught. The Centaur, though, he's lovely at the angle he is. There we have it. Thompson, can he get out? If he gets away with this, he can. Saxon's going to be the one left behind as Miracle will manage to clean him up, but Thompson gets the job done. Cost him a support, but it's a dead Terrorblade at the end of the day. Thompson's going to be happy.
Dire's top tower.
Might lose one of their wards here, I do believe. The bottom one here maybe gets taken out. They actually don't. They actually place the other one. They look for the other one right around where the Terrorblade was positioned. So this one might actually linger for quite some time. Miracle, though, continuing to be active. And they do see Thompson's rotation. The ward that they do have on the Ancients from Team NIGMA will see that the Hoodwinks here.
See if Thompson is still able to achieve something. 5 seconds till the sharpshooter's back up. The pressure coming in onto Ana. He's going to need backup. It's on the way. Saxa TP's in. Vacuum back on Ana. For the one charges, but seeing huge amounts of damage there coming out from RTW already at this stage of the game with the Metamorphosis. Just a little bit too much for Ana to try and stick around in lane against as GH got the catch. Saxa, he's not going to be able to roll out of this one as GH is able to get the walk in and more than enough damage here buffed up by the Iron Shell of Mind Control. As NIGMA can continue to keep this top space nice and safe for RTW to keep pushing on.
He blocks him with the acorn shot. Look at that. And now the rupture. But Miracle's here. There's a lot of damage, too, that comes from this.
The combo. Not quite. Thompson is able to finish it off here with a sharpshooter. Another move made here as Thompson starting to get active. And successfully so. Kill after kill now for the Hoodwink.
And he does take the Iron Witchery. I was wondering if he's going to keep the Keen Optic or not for himself, but he keeps that one so he can do his combo as well. He can stun with that Iron Witchery. And the stats. Very important to have any extra bonus stats versus a Tiny. Also the Raindrop. These little things will keep him alive versus some of these combos early on. Early rotation from Team NIGMA with the ILTW Terrorblade. We'll get the tower. It's deep, though.
Straight in underneath the tower. Miracle wants to get in. Poor GH.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Hey, they're gonna... Oh, I'm so sorry. Like,
Tiny airlines. I mean, if there was ever any player that didn't deserve getting tiny airlined, it was GH, but he just did. Miracle's like, we're going in. GH is like, what? And, all right, dead GH there in the mid. I think he's going to get a refund on his flight ticket. That was not the experience he was after.
Yeah, it happens. Ooh, Miracle does miss the catapult last hit there. But yeah, Veil is online. They've got Ice Vortex level 2. So, as we said, Spell Amp will be there for OG. But ILTW is getting really good farm and is able to pressure towers easier than the side of OG.
Yes, he's getting just that bit more.
And okay, so Thompson, it's going to just be a straight Ags Rush. I saw in some of his games he did do this as well.
All right.
Does skip out that Aether Lens. It's also more amp. More amp and status resistance reduction, and it's just it's a lot of damage. It's only got like an 18-second cooldown for a 350 damage nuke. It's quite strong, especially versus frail heroes like a Terrorblade.
Yeah, and it's a boomerang.
It is a boomerang. Looks cool.
Boomerangs are just pretty cool.
It is.
You know, you can have a boomerang. Who's going to pass up on that? Not Thompson.
I can only see expect some disgusting boomerang into status reduction into like a Mystic Snake hits them and it stuns them for 3 seconds when he's got the stone form thing on it too with the Ags.
I mean, potential. It is going to get down to sort of this game where, you know, at what stage is RTW going to have to get a BKB? Or does he not? Can he just build full stats, so he will need a BKB?
I think he's going to need one. They'll have the pipe coverage from Mind Control early. He knows that all this magic damage will be coming up, but it does feel like he'll need it at some point. Miracle already has Blink, though. So these initiations, and GH being level 7 already, has had such a good start. And yes, the Fairy Trinket, of course, as we see on these Tinies every single time, it does feel like. And who's got Possessed Mask? Of course, both carries have Possessed Mask.
There we go. Nice bit of balance here between OG and NIGMA as Ice Frog graces us with some even RNG. to make sure the game is as close as possible.
An early meta, another one, going for the towers. As we said, NIGMA will be dictating the pace for these tower pushes a little bit easier. Miracle.
He's in with a combo, hooks on the follow-up. Let's see if they've got enough to bring him down.
Oh, the bot.
Getting dropped hit by Kuroki. Vacuum as well. Out of the three of them, they're going to be able to run down Ana. The Medusa will fall. Ice Blast coming out in return.
Off the mark.
GH, mind control, Miracle trying to continue to push forward. Ooh, the kick on the Miracle. Miracle still somehow alive, but with the stick charges, finally he'll fall, but it'll cost the life of Saxa. And with ILTW turning up, Seb's got no place in this fight. He has to run.
They're healing up ILTW as well. GH gets on top of the AA. Thompson has to scurry away. As the Ancients, ILTW will be able to take these away.
There we go. A little bit of a bonus as well for NIGMA off the back of that fight. A 3-for-1. And a nice double stack of the Ancients that RTW is able to get involved in cleaning up.
And we mentioned, you know, the battle of the 4 position. Sox is struggling this time. 1, 6, and 6. GH, he's level 8 with the hood already. He's got his Aghanims already queued up, so definitely some great potential for this Clockwork to just continue to do these amazing plays for himself. He is enabled a little bit better because he's got that Ion Shell to work with. Miracle.
And see him with the jump mid, sees an opportunity to get on top of NOTEL, will take the kill. Thompson turns, hit the bush back, but GH, he's ready to go in on him. Sure with a shot. Traps Thompson. Thompson trying to break his way out, but he can't. Gets dragged back by the vacuum of mind control. As NIGMA bringing the action now to pace. They're going to get the jump in on Ana. Toss back, but Ana, he's able to put the stone gaze. NIGMA, they'll back off for now. After the ultimate goes off here for the Medusa. Seb, going for a Rupture onto GH. GH, he's out with the TDP, and he's away.
See ya.
So Rupture, I'm going to grant him anything there. Does have the Arcane Rune, though. So
they're going again.
Yeah, Miracle just no holding back here. Anytime he sees a hero in mid, he's in with a combo. Seb will live.
Nice blast. Don't have any follow-up.
Wants to do something with
How'd
this.
they do?
He's going to dive in here with the roll, gets the control onto the tiny follow there from Thompson with the sharpshooter coming in. They'll blast the head off Miracle.
You on a battlefield.
Progression as expected, 15 to 11. Still farm, but does feel like NIGMA, they've gotten a bit more out of this early game, in particular as GH having a miraculous game so far, level 9. Constantly getting on the right targets, but the vacuum.
Ooh, that's going to break the combo. Stop Saxa from getting in onto Kuroki. Nice little save there from mind control.
And there is always things that we do have to factor in as well. This lead with NIGMA, they are playing versus a Medusa, but they have lots of edges. GH is just a killer.
Oh, there you go. Easy kill for GH. Sees that walking around.
He pops the hood.
He's a tanky boy. Not tanky enough. They'll get the kill in return. You see GH, he's more than happy to take these trades, throwing himself in and getting himself some solo kills.
Look how aggressive they're playing around this ward, though. Another jump. They want no tail.
They're in with the combo. It's not quite enough, but with the fatal points down onto the two of them, they'll still be able to push on. Miracle getting himself another kill.
They're just running at them. Anytime that they do see anybody playing around this vision, they're just jumping for these kills because of this advantage they've gotten. Again, Miracle, the blinks up.
He's leading him with the avalanche. Toss not quite on the mark here.
Being a little careful. ILTW does get hit by the sharpshooter.
Gonna be all right though. Healed up by the bottle, the Shadow Word. They're keeping RTW at full HP. Once this Metamorphosis continues to go, Fortification has been forced out on OG's side of things.
I just saw LTW's item choices that he's queued up. Pretty interesting. Get a jump on him though, maybe.
Got the burst. No, Miracle. He's in with the counterplay. Jumps in with the avalanche. Jump down the stairs. Trying to get back to the side, but he's been ruptured. LTW goes down. Back him onto the three of them as Saxon will go down in return. Ana trying to chase in here, but NIGMA, they're on the retreat. Mind Control's able to drop down the wall. It's Mind Control. He'll be fine. He's able to sneak away in the trees. Seb, he's pretty speedy. He's looking to see if he can get on top of anyone else. He's looking towards GH, but GH, not a target that Seb's going to feel confident pushing on towards. OG will back off. They're happy with things as they are. They may lose Saxa, but they bring down ILTW.
Yeah, 2 times now they're able to slow him down as Ana. He's able to go back to his side of the jungle, get his farm going nicely. And yeah, there's definitely some really strong things that NIGMA does have into later stages versus Medusa as well. Not only do they have Reflection, but they have Wall. So this Medusa, as she gets better, she gets stronger. They also will on the side of Team NIGMA, so there is a lot of preparation that they do have as another hook shot. GH.
He's in.
But there's the sharpshooter to jump out of the cogs.
He's going to be fine though, GH. He can get away with this sort of aggression, as tanky as he is when there's only a couple of them around. Thompson and NOTEL just don't do enough to kill him. Especially if that sharpshooter, as you say, is having to be used immediately to break Thompson out of the cogs.
3 components toward.
What we got here? Highest amount of deaths in 17 minutes on any hero this event. Well, that's not a nice stat.
He is, I mean, he's taking a lot of them here. It is most of the supports dying though, right? It's 6 as well on NOTEL. I mean, they're 14.
These are professional deaths here. You know, this is
Ooh.
This is some top tier stuff, as you say. Support's dying. It's all part of the plan, part of the greater picture here for both teams.
Let's see if ILTW looks to want to take that nether shawl. They did find one on the side of Team NIGMA. Very good item this game versus all that magical burst that can potentially be coming.
I'm sorry if I missed you saying, but this is what you're on about, isn't it, on ILTW?
The item build that he's queued up. Yeah, he's queued up Diffusal, by the way, after the S and Y and the Dragon Lines. I mean, that could be an interesting choice versus that Medusa, of course.
It makes sense. It does.
Not sure if he needs it, though, with the way that he is getting all this pace going.
I mean,
but,
it depends, right? It depends how... If you do the numbers, if you crunch the numbers, how much of a damage increase that is against the Medusa, if you take it into account. If you just compare it to just building at the more standard Terrorblade items. But,
it's very mid-game.
Sure, it's going to amp him up to the point where, at this stage, when Anna's turning up with the Aghanims and the Manta, it's not going to quite be at a place where he's going to be feeling too happy if RTW has multiple illusions beating down on his mana pool.
Oh, Ana.
Oh.
See him for a second. He's actually the one just running in onto Kuro.
He's got backup. Saxon's going to come in with a roll onto Kuroki. Kuroki gets the bonds off, but Kuroki, he'll go down. GH is going to try and come with the hook shot. Mind Control gets the combo up, but he's caught in the blood right. They've lost the darks here. Thompson will die as RTW looks to stand his ground with the Metamorphosis. Anna moving in. GH remaining on top of the Medusa, continuing to push him back. Saxon trying to peel Miracle and RTW away from Anna and Seb, but it will cost him his life. Saxon goes down. GH has the cold control onto Anna. Toss forward as well as they continue closing on the Medusa. The mana pool of Anna completely drained. Force him out to the side. Dive forward from Miracle as he jumps in. Avalanche in place. He's caught the Medusa. Anna.
He's got a toss.
And it's going to be enough. They bring him down as NIGMA have no struggles here, taking the fight as it all begins a little awkwardly. It starts with Anna sort of stepping over to NIGMA's half of the map, ready to farm, and then as soon as he's up the cliff, he kind of looks behind him and realizes, oh, there's a team between me and the rest of my teammates.
He's initiating as the Medusa as well. He pops the Stone Gaze, just runs in versus Kuro. And it's important to point out that's a fight without the Chaotic Offering. He didn't have it up, and he gets picked off right at the start. Miracle's still waiting on the sides.
Can he burst Thompson?
He's got the shawl. It's a lot of damage.
It is. I'm going to hook shot follow up.
They got him.
It's going to be enough. Cock push back as well. GH with just the right amount of control on top of the initiation from Miracle. Instantly get them another kill. The tips starting to get shared around here on the side of NIGMA as off the back of that last few fights that we've seen. They're going to be feeling pretty good with the flow of this game.
Yeah, they're moving so fast. It's such quick movements across the map. They're just non-stop aggression with this Tiny, with this Clockwork. GH and Miracle just having a hell of a performance this game so far. Like, look at GH's farm. He's got a point booster with the hood. They gave him the Van Brace too. It's a 1900 HP Clockwork.
Oh, what's Miracle? Another grab. He gets in onto Seb, tosses him back. Seb's dead. I really do feel this so far. This game, this Miracle Tiny. We're seeing why NIGMA will pick it up. I believe what first pick wasn't it in the draft.
With flair.
It's looking pretty terrifying. 9-2-9. Miracle.
They just keep hunting.
Just doesn't stop.
Look at him. Him and GH just brutal killers. Vision from the rocket and then just immediate jumps. And he's the one who's actually been holding the shawl this whole time for all that extra magic damage. Seems very appropriate.
No, they're just completely in sync with one another. This game, Miracle and GH, you can really sense it.
And ILTW, I believe he did commit for it. So Diffusal is online. Does mean he can also fight when he doesn't have meta, which is kind of cool as well.
Got a bit of control, but it's slow.
Yep.
Those melee illusions going to do all the more.
And look at this. They're still just waiting. The rocket to scout, just keeping OG at bay. And yeah, Thompson, very underfarmed at this point. Still doesn't have his Aghanims finished. Just constantly getting hunted from Team NIGMA. And they've claimed the triangle for quite some time here. Even blocking out, or putting a ward right outside the Ancients, it looks like, here with that sentry. And GH, ready to lead the charge. Super tanky Clockwork, halfway toward Aghanims. I mean, his HP is ridiculous.
Yeah, he can...
2200, that's your Clockwork support.
And as you said, the resistance on top of it all.
Yep.
He can absolutely afford to sort of just recklessly throw himself into the action.
And they're keeping themselves around this area, protecting that high ground ward that was placed before. OG not getting much farm on the map at all right now as Team NIGMA threatening erosion. Oh, of course, look at that. A bottle and a DD with the Imp Claw as well too, so tons of damage. OG's got to try to fight this.
They know they're coming over, but NIGMA, they also know that OG knows. They're going to smoke up themselves, look to take the fight outside of the pit.
2 Aghanims online. Medusa gets Ags, and the Hoodwink has Aghanims on OG. Let's see if it makes a difference this time.
Miracle, he's in with the 3-man avalanche, ready to start things. Seb's getting forced out to the side. Anna pops the Stone Gaze, looks to turn things around. They've got the control here over towards this Tiny. As Miracle fully focused by Saxa. The pushback comes in. one.
He can't
Miracle, he's still alive somehow, standing his ground whilst Wretched gets another combo off. As Miracle, he finally dies, but the damage has been done. They've lost Anna, they've lost Saxa, and they've lost No-Tail. As OG, they'll lose 3 here for the price of Miracle.
And you may have an Aghanims on your Hoodwink, but it hits a GH Clockwork, and it does 0 damage to him at all, as ILTW shows up with the Defusal and just evaporates the poor Medusa, even with the hook shot missing at the start here.
It didn't matter in the long run.
No. Great initiation.
Just there's always going to be that worry that if you don't take down the Tiny quite quick enough, or another round of the spells is surely going to hurt, and they couldn't quite do it despite and getting very low. There's the focus of the 4 of them. There's the space. RTW able to claim the Aegis for himself.
Look at that, the sharpshooter. He's too tanky. They have Pipe and Hood. It's not doing much damage at all this game.
As well with the illusions combined with the failed bonds. There's the Defusal slow. Seb's got to get out there. Will manage to force it down to the low ground. But GH is still closing in on Thompson and No-Tail. They don't quite know where to run. As OG, they are going to try and take this fight.
There we go. They get GH finally. As he's been quite a big thorn in their side. He's always getting on top of Thompson is the biggest thing. Thompson's had to use sharpshooter defensively like 4 or 5 instances in a lot of these fights. So that mid solo is not having the effect that he would have liked as this Hoodwink because of GH. Just constantly getting on top of him. It's a big advantage here for Team NIGMA now. This Terrorblade, absolutely massive. Building toward it, and Iascati as well, too. Everything's looking great for them right now.
A brilliant time here, RTW. It's just, yeah, as we said, both teams having a same sort of dynamic. 4 fighters, 1 farmer. And it's just playing out a little smoother here for NIGMA. 27-17.
So aggressive.
Lead.
It's just, it really is just constant aggression. This Miracle and GH duo.
Yeah, they've just managed to achieve just that little bit more, really, than what OG have on the respective, the combination of the Spirit and Hoodwink. It's just not quite been as fast-paced as that NIGMA's managed to roll with.
No, Soxa just has to give his life half the time, it feels like. He's 1 in 11 on the Earth Spirit. Every time he rolls in, he tries to save his Medusa, but it's still not able to protect him, as they're just getting on top of Ana. And that was a timing, too, Ana. OG, they hit the double Ags timings right before that fight. It didn't matter. NIGMA got the jump again, right on top of the perfect heroes. Kuroki setting up for the defense bottom. They're all TPing to the back. Looks like they're going to try to smoke out and catch OG off guard. All of them TPing to the back tower, leaving the fast TP open for ILTW in the front.
ROG going to be ready for this. NIGMA.
They scout. They see Saxa. Ooh,
A little bit whiffed there with the initiation. Saxa, he's not going to take the brunt of the full combo. Saxa's able to get out to the side. The Fatal Bonds comes down, though. That'll give them the damage required to bring down the Earth Spirit. Quick Stone Gaze from Ana, but NIGMA's able to step to the side, turn and try and take down the Golem, but with the Shadow Word, Kuro's Golem's going to be kept alive, and now OG, they've just got to run with no Stone Gaze. Protect himself. They've got to get out of it. Vacuum walk down onto the 2 of them. Thompson trying to turn over towards GH, but GH is too tanky, and now RTW around. OG, they have to run. They've got no space or place to be had here in this team fight, as Mind Control's able to surge in, take down Thompson. Seb, he's trying to get back in here.
Force that. But puts them into GH.
The Cox. Oh no! It's straight into the Cox, so that TP ain't gonna work, and it will fall. No-Tail and Seb make it out of there.
It looked okay. The retreat at first for OG because they get the Miracle Tiny, but then the chase forward. NIGMA just have enough to be able to catch the rest of them there. Even honestly, the little mini Defusal slow as well. It's definitely working out.
No, this Defusal's looking very good for the way that NIGMA's playing. Absolutely,
yeah. Just constant aggression, super fast plays. Hook shot. Seb just able to dodge it. That was very close. As an Aghanim's about to be finished up for GH as well. As we said, incredible performance so far from this Clockwork. LTW, right alone.
I mean, he's very alone. He's really going for it here. I mean, he's got an Aegis. I think he's expecting there's going to be some backup. I mean, Kuro's trying to get over.
Can he get the Sunder? He's locked in place. The Force, he's dead.
I mean,
way too far up.
Yeah. One of those moments, I guess, where you just sort of forget what the team is. I mean, we'll see NIGMA still come in, get Saxa, but that did not seem like a necessary death there from ILTW.
Nope, OG did sync it up really nicely with all their spell combos, though. They got the Silence. He almost is able to get the Sunder off, but not quite. Yeah, very dark, very deep forward.
That was, he was just enjoying life there, hitting down the tier 2 tower. I mean, he had an Aegis. Kuro was kind of there, but the rest of the team, they weren't going to be around to save him, even with the 2 lives.
No, they're making their own play bottom, and OG did capitalize this time around.
There we go, as you said, no surprise here. GH on the record timing, 50 seconds faster than the event's fastest Ags on clock.
Which was a very fast one as well, because that was, I believe, Saksa who had that incredible performance on the clockwork the last time around. We did see this as the floor.
We did see that pretty insane Saksa game, and yeah, GH definitely making a case to really contest that sort of level of performance hit.
Absolutely.
Showing he can do it just as well.
Ooh, lots of neutral items being left on the ground here. Kuroki's like, I'll pick it up for you guys, don't worry, that's my job. Mind control, GH, keep doing your plays.
Chisap, GH, gonna be able to start the action. Oh, a nice drag back into the second hook shot. They got enough damage though, they don't set fine. This time, OG, they'll have a lot of backup. Straight in onto Mind Control. Ice Blast connected with a Sharpshooter coming in. There's no chance for Mind Control. Saksa is going to look for the follow-up control onto GH. Miracle's coming in for the side. The Bonds, they're around onto the three of them. Miracle's in with the combo onto Thompson, but they've already lost GH. Now Miracle's got to be careful. I said that OG also very apprehensive about continuing to keep this fight going. They're straight in the trees, they're TPing out. They don't want to be around when ILTW turns up.
A couple mistakes from NIGMA. OG's capitalizing a couple kills here. They also saw ILTW TP down with that ward that they do have placed on that south side, so they did see Terrorblade getting in, so he's able to scurry away quickly on the side of OG. Do punch back a little bit. They need quite a lot more of those. And that was also a golem used, so a couple of slip-ups there from Team NIGMA.
We'll see the attempt here to try and take down Seb at the start, but he's a slippery fellow here with the Force Staff, the plate mail, the hood. He's also quite the tanky hero.
Now they're all back up though, and we still do see like these big team fights, they are NIGMA favored whenever they do get the proper jump here. Having the BKB on Miracle too should be much safer. Unless he gets like full chain stun down, he should get the BKB off and be able to survive versus the heavy magic damage that OG does have. And they're just the ones who tank the spells, right? ILTW, he's still that big carry to be able to sit in the back lines. Claim the outpost. Claim some high ground vision as well. Tupson buys himself the tome, so he's going to have level 3 sharpshooter online. That big damage jump will be there. So they still do have burst potential if they can get onto those heroes quickly before the BKBs, but now Saksa, he's been found again.
Incoming!
Now they're going to be able to take him out, continue to set back that BKB timing that he's trying to scramble towards, but as you can see, the deaths really starting to add up and affect his gold build up this game. Really struggling to get the money in.
He's got the ward down here. He sees Seb as well.
Oh, and he's asking for help as well. Smokes as well. They're moving straight over.
They're going to get Seb here. Toss him back to ILTW. Easy. Doesn't even have to use a diffusal.
At the same time,
GH.
He's also caught Thompson.
And he's got a second hook.
He has. He's able to combo in onto Thompson.
He solos him.
As the one sharpshooter's not going to be enough, and now Anna, Stonecase is finished.
He's in the wall as well.
NIGMA's able to get in. ILTW and Miracle on top of the Medusa. Anna doesn't stand a chance.
Shredded.
Dire's top
GH, the hunter, the killer, again and again getting on top of Thompson, providing all this vision.
Oh boy, he's having a great time there, GH, and really making it look like Thompson he's got no, like what does he do?
He's got no out now.
The double hook shot, it's too much. 2 sets of hook shots, 2 sets of cogs. You can't shot shoot, you snap out of both of them.
He sees the support, he sees blood.
Right up to the fountain, pretty much.
That's a Rex. Maybe even potentially more.
I mean, at least, yeah, here, 36 to 21, 14k lead here for NIGMA.
Going for the second one. ILTW, 2 full items on top of the Medusa at this point.
That's insane. I mean, they've just played it so fast.
Yeah. 36 kills, 32 minutes.
And it's up!
So clean from the side of Team NIGMA today.
Dire's top barracks has fallen.
Double Rexes, 17k gold lead. Even in the tier 4s, why not?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
There's not a lot really that NIGMA have to be scared of here. We'll see how much space they want to give them. I mean, if they want to stick around, they absolutely can.
They're just going to wait for somebody to show. They've got a chaotic offering as well at the ready after all these fights. They haven't had to use, actually, they haven't had to use it in most of the fights. It's been successful fights just from the initiations without the golem.
And Thompson and Saksa are trying to get out the base here with the smoke, see if they can catch any of NIGMA splitting up.
Okay. Meta is still down. AA Blast, though. 3-man catch. Wow, look at the damage.
Big sharpshooter, but if they got anything else to come out, they do. It's enough damage. ILTW will fall there as Thompson's able to set up with a huge burst of his ultimate. Miracle, he's back in though. GH also able to get the lead in onto Seb with the combo. Miracle's able to bring down NOTAIL. Second round, a hook shot. He's on top of Seb. Seb's going to go down. As GH will get the kill, he'll also get out. TP's away, plays it safe, respects the buyback here from Saxon. Miracle still hanging around though.
He's quite alone.
Can Miracle do this with the back of a mind controlling Kuroki? Not quite. Zombie starts to run. They pop the stone gauge, but the wall's down. Bounce in the Ag Snake. Trying to kick Miracle back, so he's facing towards Adam, but Miracle's able to turn. Turns with another combo. In fact, it takes down Thompson. As he gets set up to pick up another kill. Anna trying to fight against the three of them, but he's slowed. GH is back in with the hook shot. The mana's gone on Anna. Anna falls.
GH still hunting. As well as my control, still chasing forward. Saksa will be the sole survivor for his team. As Roche respawns, 20 seconds until ILTW does come back up, and he's got Meta at the ready as soon as he does.
Yeah, NIGMA just continuing to just beat OG all over the place.
Oh, is NOTAIL going to show himself? Miracle, as soon as he sees him. Oh, he's jumping him. See you later, NOTAIL. On to tier 4s. Oh, he throws the tree away. Doesn't even want it. He's just going to punch it. That might be it. They do have buybacks.
They have a buyback on Anna.
But ILTW is running straight down the mid lane, and oh, a DD spawns top as well if they do go back for Rush, if they can't clean up the game right now.
Roach is down.
But it's Lotus.
Yes, indeed. They'll still try and lead it onto GH, but GH turns with a hook shot straight in onto Saxon Thompson. Revving up the sharpshooter. Is he going to do any sort of sizable damage? It is onto ILTW, but Miracle's on the front lines, pushing the back with the BKB. Combos down Saxa. Have the AA back up in a second, but now no Saxa.
They're ready to just end this.
They are. ILTW is going to continue pushing on. Stonegaze is back up in a second for Anna.
They've got wall back up in 10 seconds. Meta's popped.
Yeah, they're ready to close this up, NIGMA. Zoji, what can they do here with just the four of them? How can they stop ILTW from doing this? Miracle's able to jump straight away onto NOTAIL, takes them out yet again. Vacuum onto the three. The walls drop down. They're trying to scramble back towards the fountain, but the cogs are out. Anna can't get back to the fountain as NIGMA hold him outside of it, take him down. 100 seconds, no Anna, it's over. It really is. GG is called as NIGMA. I mean, they just really turn up here in game one. Nothing being held back. As we said.
Claiming high ground and just not
5 seconds remaining. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to pick.
Tiny.
OG's turn to pick.
Clockwork.
Dire team pick.
Drow Ranger.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Division of the Western European. What to do when they're a game down. We actually saw this very scenario last season where OG lost game 1 of this best of 3, and then they crushed Team NIGMA the games after that.
Warlock ban, that's all I wanted to say.
All right.
We also saw it at the TI9 Grand Final.
We also saw that, yeah.
And I like this from OG. This is more their bread and butter. As T-Gov so eloquently put at the start of game 1, OG typically utilize damage manipulation in one form or another
Amp on amp, brother.
games of Dota 2. It's been ongoing since way back when with the Moon Meander squad and Miracle when they were sweeping through majors. Drow Ranger is incredibly underpicked. You can play this mid as Thompson. You can play it safe lane as
5
Ana.
seconds remaining.
And they got the clock, more importantly, which does start to, it really just feels like the best 4 right now, at least when these two teams are playing.
Yeah, and for NIGMA, they come into this draft just automatically picking Tiny once again. They picked the Willow, which is a big indicator simply of Tiny will just be the mid. There's no flexibility here. And for OG, I would love to just see the Drow as a mid lane.
Yep.
You can apply some type of pressure to Tiny, and it's just annoying when you have to deal with this dual core.
Especially when you're not level 6, you have 0 armor. Laning any sort of rotation, especially from a hero like Clock, might be troublesome for you. The PL ban immediately. Likely going to see them remove a couple more Drow counters as well. And when we see Willow, we immediately think Morphling, but traditionally Drow's always matched up quite nicely against the Morph. I don't know how much that's changed now that Manta Rush is pretty much the itemization of choice. Wyvern, hard counter to the Drow in years past. I'm surprised to see that gone. And I mean, look at the bans from Kuro coming out. Abaddon and Brewmaster. Just because
these are heroes that soak up the tank, right? The fight.
Exactly.
Early, like if you run into this guy, you're like, how do we get through, like kill him, then find the backlines, right?
That's just, I think, targeted because you see the Drow. And this is, again, one of those heroes that creates an identity for the draft. Hasn't really changed much over the years. Drow might have been nerfed, buffed, skills changed, what have you, but the way you play around the hero is still the same. You want a lot of chaos that keeps you away from the Drow Ranger, so she's free to just auto attack.
Are there other 5 still in the pool? Because we saw No-Till play both the Abaddon and the Brew, of course. Are there other 5 positions that could do the same thing? Other than those 2?
5 seconds remaining.
I mean, you can get wild. I've seen Tidehunter as an example in NA a couple times.
I just want to see a melee 5 that can be that guy, right? Because Clockwork is a reinitiator. Sometimes can initiate with good, with a good vision, but just a melee 5 enabling a ranged core that can at least run up first and tank.
Axe.
One of the lower division games had a Centaur position 5.
Yeah, they carried away now, guys.
Okay.
I think we should rein it in a bit.
Okay, we'll rein it in a bit. We see a Lycan ban.
That's a very prescient ban. That's like the drow counter, and it's also incredibly good against clock. You cannot buy enough items to survive against a Lycan. He's too tanky. That armlet echo build, you're just mowing down towers 15, 20 minutes
It's
in.
unpicked in upper division. That's the funny thing.
Yeah.
True.
Like, it is an unpicked here. It's been in lower division.
Yeah.
And we have seen its strength there, but
But that's because, metas are... When we haven't seen drow. So because we see it here, suddenly there's a whole new pool of heroes that are going to be considered because it's not, say, a morphling in the opening.
I will say it's very refreshing this season. The difference between meta to upper to lower, it's not as if lower is always just copying what upper's doing. There is a little bit of kind of independence from teams. And I like the fact that, they're just becoming more confident in their own image. It puts kind of DOTA in a good position for the future.
Yeah, it's also interesting how different regional strategies, some stay in the region, some make it across the oceans. Like Medusa was being picked all the time in Southeast Asia. We really only saw it start picking up in Europe, like this week, last week.
And they started the Warlock hype.
Yeah, the Luna as well. Thank God that stayed mostly across the pond. That is not a thing.
Yet.
No, Luna, you can't make it a thing.
I have seen a fantastic game of Gorksy with Luna. He won. You lost a lot of subscribers to it, or rather you had to give subscribers.
That's
after
Division 2.
Doesn't matter, it happened.
Oh my God. It was so...
Slowly making his way up the ranks. So we have a long time that OG has taken to think about this third pick. What could they be discussing at the moment?
During their interview, they always like to mention that they always have some form of heal within their draft. It's a core component of their lineups. Okay, so they go for Enchantress. Yeah, I was going to say they needed some type of tankiness within their lineup. I like the Ench. You just buy a Solar Crest. You can, if you want to be greedy, you can go for a Dragon Lance for more fight, but it just gives you something that can tank these ganks. You have the vision advantage with the creep always running in. Now you have the Rocket Flare as well. OG shouldn't be surprised by any gank from NIGMA right now. They have all the tools required to at least understand the positioning of NIGMA. Of course, Miracle could just see through that and just jump in anyways, but...
As he does. All right, Team NIGMA, they obviously had a long time to think about their first pick as well, considering the time that OG took, but they also like to take into their own bonus time here with this third pick. Are we most likely going to see Willow for GH and then Tiny just back on mid for Miracle? Because there's not really, like, Kuro could play Willow, I guess, as well.
No, we're going okay, Phoenix.
That's okay, so...
Into the ranged heroes, the combination.
It can be a little spooky. It's nice, but I don't know. Drow against Phoenix, especially you pick up an early Dragonlance, it's quite easy to eat the egg.
In this position, I'd love the clock to become a 5, like we saw Alliance
I agree.
Push that Ench into a 4-roll, allow the Dragonlance player to come into, so then you go Solar Crest Dragonlance, you then have Drow and Ench be your egg counters, and then it sets up that kind of nice cover for the for Ana and whatever carry he gets, but
it's a real nice Storm game.
What's the Seb hero here?
It's a real nice Snapfire mid game for Thompson. Let's go.
You could just be naming heroes from the pool, and I wouldn't know the difference.
No, but you can kill egg real fast. It's real nice.
Oh, that's a good point.
Although Thompson is the one that plays the Drow.
But also, if you Tiny into Snapfire is a very Tiny favorite matchup, not for the lane, but in the game, always getting on top of him, preventing him getting the ultimate off.
Okay. They'll end up going for the Juggernaut.
Such an OG pick. Now, it's almost guaranteed, although, I mean, we saw Seb play Jug offlane like 2 years ago, but most likely it's an Ana hero. You're going to have Drow mid. And that, I believe, comes from knowing that it's almost 95% a Tiny middle, and Drow's just fine with that matchup. Both supports really don't add too much either. Theoretically, you could get a kill with a nice toss back into a Bramble, but easier said than done. You'll need some levels on the Tiny to get that through.
Yeah, OG had a very similar draft when they played against Team Secret in the first game. And the only thing that we are lacking so far is a tanky offlaner. They had the Darkseer last time around, obviously banned.
You know, it could be a great Furion game. I don't know if that's something anybody wants to pick nowadays, but I swear, Mind Control, Nature's Prophet is one of my favorite hero player combinations. Traditionally very good against Jug in lane and very good against Drow throughout the game because you can clear out the tier 1 so quickly and really limit the amount of space she has on her own side. So alternative, There's always an axe, you know, your standard blink initiator. Could go for a Slardar.
I'm currently just trying to think about this Enchantress, and I think there might be more to the pick than we're currently giving it.
Okay.
Like potentially it could just be like a core Enchantress here, where you have
7
Clockwork
Enchantress?
like a 7 Enchantress. You apply a lot of laning pressure, and it gives you that kind of clumping.
Yep.
He's played it a couple times in his pubs, potentially, and like he hasn't won with it though. But again, I have this kind of maybe like a gut feeling this could be like a play they make, just they're grouping that tankiness and that run at you style. But of course, they just pick up the Spectre.
Yep.
It is a classic counter to Drow. Always being able to get on top of the Drow, mitigate the ultimate coming into effect, because when heroes are near Drow, it removes that.
However, not great against the Juggernaut. It doesn't really allow NIGMA to play with as much tempo. Their team fight's going to be fantastic, but
Styles changed for sure.
Exactly. This is a slower approach, right? And I swear, Kuro does this to me every series, because they'll come out the gates in the first, they'll crush.
Swinging.
So, like, always with the
adrenaline and pumping.
Yeah, doubling, like 2 kills a minute. And then the next game's like, all right, guys, that worked so well. Let's slow it down. Let's farm. Let's play for the 40 minutes plus and hope for the best. And now it'll be OG, in theory, in the driver's seat, able to play aggressive. Max ban. I'm telling you, man, I think MC... I want a Furion because it allows them to play quick. Is Darkseer in the pool?
Nope.
No, Darkseer's banned out. They banned out themselves.
What?
All the offlaners pretty much
Could
banned
just
out.
go for a Slardar.
They've obviously played Darkseer, Bloodseeker in the previous game. Still in the pool.
Yes!
They go for it.
They did it, baby. There we go. We don't see this ever, but I love this pick. Because I didn't want just a standard initiator, and we're like, oh my god, it's going to be slow. Now they have easy tower damage. And yeah, puts OG into a spot where, like, okay, we have to now still be the ones that limit the pressure. But, man, this is a TI draft right here. Both these teams know what's on the line.
Yeah, I think just the response though from the Furin and then the Underlord. The Underlord covers them pretty nicely, because that early pressure, it's all about just having the right matchup. Underlord goes to the right lane, defends the tower, and I think the key thing for NIGMA is it's a completely different script from game 1. This game, if Miracle jumps in and they have ultimate from Spectre, they should be able to find a kill. But then it's not like there's layers of initiation coming in through. Like a lot of ranged heroes, so it's all on Spectre to have the items to cushion that jump.
With the insane choke point control and just all around sustain and long team fight. Whereas NIGMA, they want poke and prod skirmishes. They can abuse global TPs. They want to take towers early, and the game gets way simpler for them. But taking 2 tier 1s before 10-12 minutes while maintaining control of their own is huge for them in this game.
And we said that they might want to slow things down with the Nature's Prophet. That's no longer the case, right? They can still set high tempo.
Yeah, they're going to be able to push OG around the map, opening up the map for Spectre to farm, and that's the key thing. If Spectre can get to a couple items, this will be a very close game.
I think it's a Mansion all of a sudden tops and gets hopped on. It's like, he's dead.
I heard close game. I'm excited. Looking forward to this game 2. Let's see if we'll get a game 3 out of it as well. We're going to find out together with Odie Pixel and Fog.
Thank you very much, Steve. We are indeed. I mean, what do you reckon, Fog? We saw in game 1. Didn't actually end up as maybe close as we expected. NIGMA looking to be that little bit ahead of OG in the opening of this series. Here in game 2, what do you reckon? Do you think the panel's right? Are we going to see a closer game, or could one team start to get the lead pretty early?
I think it's just a completely different style that's coming out here. We do see still a lot of team fight aggression that's more dominant on the side of Team NIGMA, but OG does have very strong group around with this Underlord. And the way they do play with the Jug is also very early aggression, right? We've seen from Ana a couple times now where he goes for like the early Yasha. He just looks to join his team early on, so could be successful if they're able to actually set up for these pushes, but yeah, Spectre and Nature's Prophet, 2 heroes that we don't see too often anymore. This global presence around the map to be able to join this constant aggression that we do expect to see from Miracle again. And he's got good targets.
Absolutely.
He's got some pretty nice ones, but also some tough ones that are just too tanky or he can't burst down. Jug, Underlord, Clockwork could be problematic for Miracle this time.
Sure. I feel like, again, that they're going to have to do quite a lot to try and keep Thompson safe, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of heroes that are going to be getting in the face of the Drow Ranger.
Absolutely. That's why they do go for that pick with the Spectre, and I'm glad to see this Nature's Prophet. I know Kyle was begging for it. He's been asking for it like every game that he sees My Control playing. He's like, please pick Nature's Prophet.
So why have we not been seeing much of it? Were the nerfs really that significant?
Sure, this was a
Yeah, I mean, they definitely hurt, but we just don't see it in this region, really. Like, we see it in other regions quite a lot, but it has been nerfed on the treants quite a bit here. And it is playing versus an Enchantress, so Enchant, you can take over one of the Treants, you can be a little bit annoying inside of that lane phase. Kuro and Saksa duking it out. And yeah, eyes on Saksa.
I mean, it really is. As you were saying last game, we saw previous series, Saksa absolutely pop off on the clock. Previous game, though, of course, we saw GH give quite the showing. So we'll see. You know, Saksa definitely after that game, when you could tell he was probably looking at GH and going, I can do that too, and I'm going to show you.
Doesn't feel as easy for him versus the heroes that he's up against, like sticking on a Spectre. Spectre can play around it, being able to dagger out. Tiny, quite tanky. Phoenix has a way to play if you time the dive between these battery assaults. Willow, you can go Shadow Realm. He's dead.
Easy first blood there for Mind Control. Just right clicks no tail out of the lane. He'll die for it, but hey, it's first blood.
Okay. And that's why we see that Mind Control nature profit.
Stands there, right clicks him. Easy kill.
Yep. Missing a lot of last hits down here right now, though. Does get the one with the Treants, but we will see lane cutting coming out from Saksa, so we'll get himself off to a good start himself. I like that voice. Yeah, let's see how this mid matchup ends up going. If he's gonna actually be able to slow down Miracle at all. Feels like Miracle should just be able to farm quite well, but Topson, we've seen what he does on this draw. He goes what, 1-1-1, and then stats for the first like 7 levels or so. Until he hits level 7, then he gets, I think, 2 points or 3 points, and then he starts normally leveling his skills up. But tries to get that stat advantage, at least in mid lane, quite early on, from what I've seen. And as immediately, yeah, he takes stats. So 1-0-1, stats put into the point onto this Drow Ranger. As yeah, Miracle. Constant aggression coming out onto him, so rune control will be important so that he can keep the sustain up, but should be able to with all these water runes. Topson's gonna definitely look to contest them.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
A bit of damage on RTW here with the fire
yeah. Playing around his creeps though, LTW nicely. Does allow Kuroki to get a pull, but Kuroki actually misses quite a bit of them. He only gets the 1 melee creep, not the melee plus the range that you usually dream to get as these half pulls. But it's a Spectre lane, so it's always going to start a bit slow, especially into Underlord. You just see this base damage advantage, 80 plus on the Underlord, 56 on Spectre. So ILTW will have a much slower start this game. And they can't actually get very aggressive up here. So OG should, I mean, it does look like they should come out quite effectively in at least 2 or 3, like 2 of the lanes. Mid, kind of a trade-off. Yeah, but Jug is a pretty decent hero to be able to deal with the harassment that comes out from both Nature's Prophet as well as Willow.
GH.
I'm not sure.
Go for no tail, but no tail. Actually gonna turn.
Gets the realm off.
He will, and in fact, with the
might be able to turn for him.
Brown balls, is he gonna be able to do this? GH.
Bit low on mana. 4 short.
Very fast.
Slow.
High
entry for vision.
But they've got him. GH gets the kill.
The Banshee. Look at the ghost. It's chasing him out. I think he's gonna time out before he dies. 2, 1. He will live the rocket. Look at GH, he even smiles.
There, GH.
He laughs himself.
Saksa gets the global snipe. There was a level 1 rocket flare.
Oh, that was so nice. Doesn't skill the cogs because he's versus that Spectre lane, so it's a bit tough to actually land him. Goes for the rocket. Super nice there. Gee, I love how you see the camera and GH is just like, all right, respect to that.
I mean, that's, yeah, you know, you got to accept that.
Dire are scanning.
Looking like 3 successful lanes as the Drow is coming ahead. He's getting his runes checked for him too. Miracle will get his bottle filled up from GH. Try to enable him a little bit better. Maybe getting aggressive too. They do have the boots and the bottle. So Saksa is going to have to zone them away a little bit from this Topson Drow to protect him. And they won't be able to get Saksa either. Super tanky Clockworks, 860 HP at that level 3. And we do see 1-1-1 on Topson plus stats. Going straight for the treads.
Yeah, able to keep that slight edge on Miracle in this matchup. Very close though still.
He's actually got the same base damage. It's pretty cool. As another stun coming out. They don't have the combo just yet. They're over onto him. 2 seconds, the gust pushback. Catches Saksa.
They're bringing Mind Control in as well. They'll be able to get down the sprout, block off Topson's route of escape.
They get the courier as well, and Saksa. Battery Assault not as effective when there's so many creeps around. These Treants as well. We'll drag the wave.
Another sprout, Mind Control, buying time for Miracle to close in.
Couple more hits. They got an avalanche or a toss. They don't even need it.
They've got the Bramble. They've got the kill. NIGMA bringing the action in mid here as Mind Control's ready to get active across the map.
Does mean that bottom, OG have to play very aggressive. Kuroki's trying to sap this XP down here. It's triple range creep that is coming down. Kuro still has the dive. Ana will try to push away, but tanks 2 tower hits.
Taking some tier 2 tower hits here.
And he gets the healing ward with the dive. Nice play from Kuroki.
Structures are fortified.
Looks like won't get the tower for now. You see NIGMA. They're bringing additional numbers down because they know that OG's wanting to stick around to get this tier 1.
I'm not sure. This was
DH and Mind Control are going to look to fight them for it.
They're going to get it. Do they get the deny? They will.
Dire's
And now Ana,
I mean, he can't get out.
he's in a weird spot. He's very dead. Picks up his phase boots before he does die. But yeah, Kuro.
I mean, we're seeing signs already sort of similar to the last game where NIGMA's just turning out to be a bit more of a more killers than OG's able to in the early game.
Especially with this more passive style lineup too, with like a Spectre, with your Nature's Prophet, still looking to get very involved early on. And now it does give some space for ILTW. He's now in a 1v1 matchup versus the Underlord, so both of them will be able to maximize. Ring of Health picked up on this Spectre, so he's able to sustain fine versus Seb. But Seb will come out a little bit ahead because he can pull some neutrals into with these.
Dire's top tower is under
And let's see how
attack.
active Miracle does get, because as we know, he's level 6. He's got his phase boots. He's looking to hunt. How close are we to Mind Control level 6 too? So the Wrath of Nature almost online too, so that burst potential bit higher. Might catch OG off guard here when Miracle does find a target.
Oh, that's true actually, yeah, that sort of extra bit to add on top of it all will do it.
And look at this wraparound. He's actually the one carrying the wards, because he's the one who's making the moves around. They have Phoenix, who doesn't want to actually go to place ward, so they're giving it to Tiny, who's going to be constantly moving around looking for these plays. So I should like that they do these kind of plays. I love giving your cores wards. Rambles again.
They're in onto Saxa. Saxa, he's trying to run. He's got the stick charges, but the hit comes through from the Shadow Realms.
And they want to
take him down.
Can they actually get onto No-Tail as well? Gonna be close.
I mean, Ana's trying to come across to help out. She used the Blade Fury here to make sure they don't set up onto him off the back of the Cursed Crown.
So now Seb will try to push top tower while all this pressure is happening. He did.
He steps back in. Courage just in with a dive and a few spirits, and they get the kill on No-Tail.
Look at this aggression. Team NIGMA. Now Miracle maybe steps up too far himself. Saxa, can he get close enough? He can't. Phase boots. From Miracle the Wrath to push them away. Thompson's quite low here.
Radiant's bottom tower
Miracle's definitely thinking about going in with GH here. Got the Gust.
Sax as well at the side, trying to offer up some sort of help. Ana heading in with a healing ward. They've got the combo on with the Sunrays, enough to take down Thompson.
And Miracle's too fast. The phase boots plus the faded brooch.
Ana can't chase
away.
Miracle's out with the TP ready to reset back at the base. GH will get left behind underneath the tower. He himself might be able to make out as well. He is. Shadow Realms popped. They won't lose either of them here.
And they even take the haste rune away. The speed that NIGMA is playing with 8 kills at 8 minutes already. And they take the bottom tower too with the rotation from ILTW.
Oh, they're playing it even faster than they were in game 1 here.
Yep. Getting the Spectre involved nice and early too. Seb, as we said, he's having this free game, so let's see what he makes of it. He's going to go for Hood so he can always survive the brunt of the pressure, but that does mean that it's all up to Saxa to be that initiator again. Just like last time, we saw him die so many times on this Earth Spirit last time because he's the sole initiator on his team. So similar approach this time around from OG. NIGMA setting up for the defense to level 5 on the Willow.
Yeah, hard for OG to push in here now.
Yeah.
Still not quite having the 6 on the jug.
No. And there's a Wrath of Nature available again too. So Miracle, he's got that extra burst every time he looks for somebody. And he's so speedy. He even picks up a casual Windlace with the brooch. When he's phasing, he's 461.
He's stepping up and does get the cogs off in time, so Miracle won't find the opening for the combo.
I'm just gonna buy back.
That's a good one, actually. I like that one quite a bit. Miracle.
Saxa's hunting Mind Control. He has found him here. Mind Control. He's getting held back here by Saxa, but
only level 4 on Saxa, though. The damage is not quite there.
Enough damage to take down Mind Control.
No. And he also has phase boots, all these little bits of movement speed. Definitely working out for Team NIGMA. Stop the small aggression. Seb comes up to try to defend this tower here. That does mean Spectre. Full free farm bottom. ILTW getting little to no pressure now in this game.
Now here we go. NIGMA. Ready to run in No-Tail.
No-Tail. Oh, see you later.
Well, he's dead, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
He is.
Oh, and a creep as well. Look at that. These deep early wards that were placed. Now Thompson, the hunt.
He wanted a rune, but he's ended up getting 4 here. He's going to go for the TP out. Is he away? He's not.
No.
They've got him. Curse Crown will put him to a stop as Miracle gets the double.
He's running away with it again, this time on the Tiny.
Tiny, he's having a fantastic series already, off to another brilliant start. 4-0-1 on the Tiny.
They're looking to fight up top. The DD on the Tiny too. Saksa only level 4 still on the Clockwork. They will purge off that DD from Miracle.
Miracle still trying to get the grab here with the toss on him. Knows that he's got the kill.
And they've got the heal.
Sunray coming in from the side. They'll be able to start doing the damage here to Saxter and Seb. Miracle, he's a little low on the mount. Anna leading him with the Blade Fury, but Miracle, as you say, with the movement speed, he can get away from the jug. He's looking to close it on to Saxter. Saxter will drop down the cogs. The Avalanche grabs him. Saxter into the egg. They're popping the egg. OG, they can't commit for the egg. They'll have to turn and look for kill opportunities with the Omni Slash, but at this stage, just nowhere near enough damage. The Supernova Stun catches Anna as he comes out of the Omni Slash. As it's just more glory here for NIGMA. 13 for 2, 4K lead. They're just not slowing down.
It's a stomping. The Omni Slash comes out, but it's perfectly timed with Kuroki getting that egg to connect on him as soon as he lands out of it. Gets stunned instantly. And yeah, they're just so under-leveled at this point. Like, just bring him up. Level 5 on the Enchantress, 6 on the Clockwork. Anna is level 6 at this point on the Jug.
He's struggling. They just can't get him the space.
Look at the Willow, 7. Nature's Prophet, 7. Phoenix, 7. Just excellent moves from Team NIGMA to set them up for this success. Such deep early aggression and deep early wards that have not been countered. The triangle, it's been warded for a full 7 minutes now. Not taken out. Those early wards that we did see Miracle place has been phenomenal for him. And he's got the Blink Dagger done in a second after this bounty run. So it's just going to keep picking up in pace. And ILTW is just free farming. No pressure on Spectre whatsoever this game now.
Oh, yeah, that's terrifying.
But now they are setting up for him bottom, and he's very low on mana. He's very deep as well, and they should be able to get him this time. We'll get themselves back a little bit here.
That's what OG can do with this. Spectre gone. I mean, it's just Anna's not
so
quite ready
behind.
to fight. He still just needs a lot of time, a lot of space.
Yeah.
He is not going to want to get involved for quite some time here, at least until he has his first item done. Even then, you know, the Jug, it's really, you know, pre-Maelstrom, SMY, you're not going to have a good time turning up to the fights, especially when the enemy team is sort of an item ahead.
He also could just die. They do spot Miracle with the ward, but he does have to be careful. Even though he's got like 960 HP, which will survive him from the combo. They have the Wrath of Nature's mid. Heals coming out. The Shadow Realm versus the Clockwork.
Yeah, they're fine. They could look to turn. The Silence just come in from the side as Thompson will be able to bring down GH.
Thompson's still getting a little bit here. As top, they know where Anna is. He's gonna spin TP out.
You know, for the most part, that is going to pretty much save him each and every time this game. As long as he can get it off before he gets jumped by the combo opening of Miracle's Tiny.
And he did TP to the mid tier too, so he can join his team to potentially go for this tower push. But all of Team NIGMA, they are set up in the area, and Miracle is just waiting at the wings for someone to step up too far for a toss back. They will have to back away. Grouped up though again, still smoking. Looking to play around this ward. Might be able to catch my control here. Sox has got hookshot in 10. Might not even have to use it if he can just wrap around from behind.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, they're just running right onto him. My control. Goes for the TP, but he'll get caught here. Soxa pushes him away, right into Ana. Oh, the damage? It's close, and they do get him.
The Omni Slash for this now, maybe. NIGMA could come in for some sort of cleanup.
Miracle? The percent damage.
Oh, it's actually OG. They're going to continue to clean up, and with the TPs up to top, they're looking at more. Kuro's able to dive away. Seeing OG able to kick back pretty hard. You know, they get ILTW down bottom and then back up on the top. They're taking down Mind Control. They're taking down Miracle.
Yeah, they can't underestimate the amount of damage that this Drow still can do. Thompson still not having a bad start at all. His Dragon Lance, he's got the Blade of Alacrity, and they always will have Firestorm. Percent-based damage versus that Tiny will always be extremely effective. Miracle does have to watch himself as he gives up a big kill streak. Soxa.
Radiant's bottom tower
He's getting surrounded, and the Brambles.
Yeah, with the Brambles, you can't escape this Sprout. You know, that sort of combo with the Brambles down, you can cut yourself out of Sprout, but there'll be a Bramble waiting for you.
And just definitely seeing the points as to why they did go for this Nature's Prophet. You know, these just even the treants are very problematic for a Clockwork to play around, as a ward does go up. They're looking for Thompson. He's tanky now, though. 1,600 HP.
Radiant's top
got the 5 stats plus the 2 points that he has put from earlier.
Radiant structures
Tough to bring him down. As I know in the back the T is going to be very happy from the item that my control queued up on Nature's Prophet. He's been raving about this one. The Aghanim's Nature's Prophet, if he does go for him. That global root, quite effective.
No, it's a long duration as well if you can get the bounces right. And, you know, mind control will. He knows how to hit hard with the Wrath.
And it lowers the cooldown is the important thing too, by 25 seconds. It goes down to 60.
Also, that's a big difference.
Very frequent inside of these fights, as we've seen. Team NIGMA wants to play fast. And Doxa, it's a little bit tankier with the cloak, but is it tanky enough?
The stick charges up. It is. The fear comes out. He'll get pushed back. He has got a hook shot if he wants to try and get back in and snipe Miracle. He's going to try, but just misses. Very, very close, but not able to get the connection as NIGMA will manage to back off. There won't lose anyone here.
Cloak does keep him alive, though. The clockwork, Ana.
Not going to be able to commit for this, as Miracle quickly out with the jump.
It's so much space, though. Where's ILTW been, right? He's just chilling. He's having an absolute free time. Sure, he gets picked up the once from playing just a bit too aggressive, but the way that Team NIGMA's playing, just this constant aggression, it's forcing so many moves from OG to react to it, so they can't actually put attention onto this Spectre.
Those free fire Spectres, definitely going to be a problem down the line here for OG.
Sab still knows that he is just too tough for them to deal with, just still too tanky, even though they do try to jump onto him.
Nana, how's he doing here? Still playing the catch-up game.
Yep. It's going to be quite some time before he does feel like he's back in it. And there's, it is a Jug versus the Nature's Prophet too, and so in these fights, he's got to watch out for a lot of Omni Slashes. If these Treants are around, they'll soak quite a bit of it if he can't. And there's just not a lot of easy Omni Slash targets for him. He goes in on a Phoenix, there's an egg that can come out. He does it on Spectre, it's not the most effective. Willow, you pick Shadow Realm. Tiny, quite tanky. So it is going to be a hard game for Ana for sure. There's a 5k gold advantage with the late game advantage too, with a Spectre and a Phoenix in the draft. You can just feel that Team NIGMA is in an incredibly comfortable position this game.
And those sort of kills on the cores that OG were just able to find, just not nearly quite enough to close up that advantage that NIGMA built up.
They're all here on Team
NIGMA. Just sprayed him with the jump. Onto No-Tail, they're burning him down with the stun ray. He's gone, Seb. He's going to look to try and rift out. They got the damage to take him out in time. Ooh, he's away.
Very close.
It is.
I wonder if Kuroki queues up the Spirit Vessel now. He's got a lot of gold on this Phoenix right now. He already has the urn, so could be a pretty nice pickup if he does go for it.
Well, Topson.
Was he going to actually get brought down here? The hook shot? Oh, the stun actually potentially saving him there, Doxa.
I think it might have, yeah. If they were able to get a few more right clicks in, they would have managed to take Topson down, but Saxa getting in, disrupting them from getting the right clicks on.
Ana, Invis up, potentially trying to look for something here, but...
Oh, can he go for a solo on this slash?
No,
it's
no,
level
no.
2.
It's 16 armor on this Tiny.
That's true.
Way too tanky.
Even with that magical burst, it's not going to be enough.
Nope. OG will find themselves a nice Philosopher's Stone. They don't have that superhero that does carry it, though, like the Phoenix that we do see a lot of the times. It's, of course, an excellent pickup for them, but... As Kuroki, okay, he's actually going to go Holy Lock it. So the Sunray heals, they're going to be impactful. Been seeing a lot more of these pickups on these, and just like everybody, actually. Holy Lock it overall is just becoming a lot more popular.
No, I like it this game when you have that beefy core, right?
Yeah, you
are just looking to just buff up completely. I mean, if Kuro is able to find an angle to sit back and just fully Sunray up RTW, good luck trying to kill the Spectre.
Even just the wand charges that you can pump into him too. Spectre is a hero that does use quite a lot of mana with your constant dagger spam as GH. The Yules.
He's able to get the Shadow Realm up, but he's pushed back into the root. He'll manage to root them himself. I got the arrows flying through from Thompson. GH is looking to get the fear off. He gets
he actually gonna live?
He's gonna live.
Oh my goodness.
GH is away.
We can't even kill the Willow.
That's gotta hurt. They need these kills, OG. They're just slipping further and further behind against this Spectre lineup.
In mind control, he's got Ags. So we've got that global root coming into play too that can be quite problematic.
Ags on the Prophet, Echo Saber done on Miracle, so his combo now gonna have that additional punch to it.
And ILTW, Blade Mail plus Manta already finished up, queuing up that Diffusal immediately afterwards. This game feels super hard for OG to win any team fights. They can get small pickoffs perhaps with the Drow, but fighting overall just feels quite impossible.
Snowtail.
He's just burning.
I mean, he tries to go for a poke onto KuroKy. He's just dead. He can't mess around with the Phoenix.
Oh, and they find Ana as well. And it's an ancient stack on top.
Oh, no. That ain't great here for OG.
And they have Manta, so they can go into Roche. There's no jug for 35.
Looks like Thompson will still be able to clean up the bigger of the Ancients, but
they're going to get a Roche for it, so...
They are with 2 members down on OG, and even when OG has the full team up right now, they are still struggling to fight NIGMA as a team.
This is one of the... NIGMA's just playing the most aggressive I feel like I've seen all season.
They're going to try and start things onto Miracle. And Miracle's going to have backup. He can just stab this grab and drop the combo onto Sax. The Supernova coming out. Seb's got to back away. He's going to pop the ult. He's trapped in the Sprout, and they got the damage they do. Seb's not getting out of this. Seb and Saxon will fall. Miracle is ready to look for more. Jumps on Thompson able to push the back with the 4-man guns. Turns towards the Tiny. But bring down Miracle, but Thompson's going to die for this as RTW stays on top of him. NoTail trying to bring down GH, but GH back into the Shadow Realm. He's away. RTW will dagger into the trees to keep himself safe. RTW's ready to go back in. He's looking for NoTail, but the healing ward's out. So a lot of sustain and heal here for NoTail. RTW alone will not have the damage to get this kill.
They do get the one. They prevent the roast from being finished.
Cost them a buyback,
It does cost them a buyback, and they do lose the cores anyway, so costly.
I mean,
Roche, they're going to be able to go back into the roast
if they can get it themselves here.
Okay.
Then the buyback is going to feel pretty good if they can secure this, but GH waiting at the side. He has got the fear.
He does.
So he's ready to mess with them.
They're going to have to spin, but that means that they don't have the damage to bring it down.
Spin. Yep. Yeah, he's got to be careful now, Ana.
Yep. Miracle back up. Wrath of Nature back online too with that Aghanims cooldown.
Everybody to the pit here right now.
Yep. And KuroKy, he's got the 20 Holy Locket charges, so he can pump up, and then he's got that increased heal, of course. Egg is on cooldown. It's still very difficult for OG to walk right in.
Players here.
Ana really wants to get this Roche done.
They're scouting nicely with the rockets, at least onto the high ground. LTW. Crow's face for a second. Starting to work on it.
They're trying to take it here, OG. Healing one down, Miracle then straight away the jump onto Ana. Ana's able to get the flamethrower off in time. Sunray's coming in though, out to the side of the healing ward. Ana has to run. He's very low right now. RTW is standing in the Roche, but he's trying to finish Roche. Can he do some time? Diane will get the kill, but Thompson's able to snatch the Aegis as Thompson picks it up, takes down ILTW, and over to the side, mind control is getting run down, blocked off by Seb as OG. They won't get the kill on Roche, but they get what matters. Thompson grabs the Aegis, and they'll take the team fight around the pit.
It feels like if they don't get that Aegis, the game is probably just over very soon.
If Spectre has a second life there.
Yeah. So it's very fortunate that they do get for themselves, and they get some big kills on all 3 cores being brought down here.
Middle tower is under attack.
Do lose Ana again, though. He is continuing to just struggle and struggle in this game.
I think, as you said, a lot on this. At the moment, really, you're looking to Thompson to be the carry here as the Drought.
Yeah.
See what he can do here for the team.
They're respawning. They have Egg. It's level 2 as well.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Zeb. Starting to burn.
The combo.
It's tanky, though. Miracle.
They're going to try and go for Miracle.
LTW's in on Thompson.
Straight away, forcing back the Drought. Seb, he's going to look to try and take them out of here with the Rift. He's up in the air. He's not going to be able to take Saxon back, but he will manage to take home Thompson.
GH tried for a big play there, using the Underlord and then trying to fear Thompson to pull him away from it. Almost gets it successfully, but...
That's some big brain.
Yeah, that was actually so big brain when I saw it. I was like, wow, that's actually pretty cool, but doesn't actually connect with it. And now OG, they didn't go back that far. They are looking to still continue trying to fight. Since Egg is down and Haunt is down,
and they still have this Aegis now. Thompson's going to feel very strong right now with that second life. They have Omni Slash ready to go, OG.
Dire are scanning.
Still playing from behind here, down 10 to 24, 6k lead for NIGMA. But they're making sure that NIGMA doesn't grow any further.
Yeah, they keep getting on top of Miracle. This time, though, Hastrun, and he does have KuroKy behind him. Kuro also picking up the Shard. Didn't get to point that out quickly as we did hit 20 minutes. The Sunray during that Egg. Very potent. GH.
Sax is looking for this.
Taunting him.
He's got him. He's in.
Realm TP. Doesn't go for it. And he'll get brought down.
Things would catch up with me.
Thompson will be happy with that. Able to walk over, claim the kill for himself.
And now they will at least have some better forms of catch and better forms of initiation. Also on OG is Seb, he's got his Atos. Very good item, especially versus that Tiny, gonna be quite effective.
Obviously, Thompson has, they did the full Hurricane Pike, so he himself,
Radiant's middle tower
a lot more ways to slide around the team fights.
They've slowed down the game quite nicely here.
They have.
Spectre.
4K lead now for NIGMA. It is beginning to dwindle.
Still scary.
Dire's bottom tower.
As the Spectre is massive, and once he does get the Fusel, it's easier for him to stick on these targets, in particular the Drow, because he can cast that slow when he is gusted anyway, so he can just stick on top of Drow inside of these fights as NIGMA's looking to fight.
Let's see what GH can do here.
Got the egg.
Common setup, but Thompson quickly pops the Manta over to the side. Micro team in him, but he gets caught out by the hook shot. The Colts push back the two of them. They're trying to get GH out of there, but GH is going to go down. The Supernova's popped. They're trying to focus. It can only
gonna die?
take down the egg in time. I don't think they can. They can't. The Supernova successful. Kuro managing to stun the three of them. Seb's looking to bail them out. Rift out, ready to take Thompson and Hotel home. He's able to do so. So Seb will limit the casualties here for OG. Ends up being a 1-for-1.
That was close.
You won't feel a thing.
Oh. All right.
Oh, no. Omni Slash now down.
There will be another time to fight.
Ana continuing to struggle, as we've said. Not an easy game for the Jug.
A lot of little things like that that's going to break his opportunity of getting on someone.
And ILTW, he's got the defusal finished up. With Haunt available too. So might even just TP back to base soon to be able to be at the ready to fight. If they do find something. As he TP's back, picks it up. And let's...
Ooh, they really wanted to catch Miracle there.
They had the sentries ready too, because he does have that invis in the bottle.
He's got a minute left on this Aegis, Thompson. So.
Level 18 too, so he's got level 3 marksmanship up.
Oh, mind control. Saxa.
He's got a BKB. Should be just fine versus Saxa.
Oh, yeah, Saxa doesn't want to waste time messing with this.
No. And they're going to push out the top wave. While OG tries to pick this fight while they still have Aegis for 30 seconds. Egg also going to be back up soon. They also find themselves a ceremonial probe on the side of Team NIGMA. So Miracle will carry that one for now. Also, just, I mean, that item overall, like when you have the overall like dominant team fight and you get a robe, it just feels so good because you just have even more dominant fight. As they are under some ward vision here. So trying to make a grab.
He's going to try and lead it onto Miracle. Got him caught in the cogs here. The back of the current GH is coming out from the side. The Sunray keeping Miracle alive. Is it enough though? As the field will try and push them back, but not before Miracle goes down.
Healing ward full duration as well too, so they're all full HP, even though they tank that Sunray. Nice grab from Saxa. No Force Stabs being picked up. Important to point out on the side of Team NIGMA, not just yet. Yules on the Dark Willow, just more greedy items coming out from the two supports. So these hook shots will be effective on this Tiny in most situations.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
3K gold lead now.
They're holding on to this OG. They really are. Thompson incredibly farmed, only just behind that of Mind Control. As Seb getting the AC next, looking to move into the Ags after.
Oh, okay. He's tanky. Oh, DD bottom.
Thompson
finds himself an Orb of Destruction as well, too.
Oh, it's a lot of damage.
Look at that, 504 per hit.
Mind Control.
He's just hiding for now.
They're not going to search any further down here. Whoever Thompson finds, no tell will find.
Oh, they see each other for a second.
Yep. Thompson still looking for it. Oh, Miracle found him!
Thompson!
Is it on the Thompson? They've got the healer ball coming out. The Supernova's in place. There's Thompson, they try and focus it. They'll be able to take it down. But Thompson, he's dead. Out for 70. Seb will manage to take the rest of them back. But Thompson goes down. Of course, the Aegis have come to an end. And so, along with that, will Thompson's life.
Such quick plays coming out too. They instantly try to rift him out of there, but not quite able to. They bring down the egg though. Very quick focus fire every single time here. The Jug, the Drow, very effective to be able to do that. But NIGMA, they do get that initiation to be able to get Thompson. Ana. Be a little careful. Got the spin popped already.
His TP's on cooldown, but he has got a lot of backup. OG's here with the 4 of them, and he has Omni stashed at the ready if Ana wants to get back in. So over to the side, Saxa. Focused by the combo, Miracle Saxa. Still alive somehow here, but finally Mind Control's able to take him down with the damage here. Miracle is focusing No-Tail. No-Tail also trapped in the trees. As OG, they try and poke back. It won't work out. NIGMA more than happy to take a fight on these terms.
I think OG really has to just wait for Thompson in most of these situations. He's so important just for the damage and even just the marksmanship aura.
Miracle's in. Styling is on the set. They're just doing so much more. Thompson's dead. A double buyback comes out from OG and an attempt to catch NIGMA here on the retreat.
Bail them away.
Saxon does have the hook shot if he's able to close in on this.
Can he get an angle though? It doesn't quite look like it just yet.
That's 2 buybacks there, forced out. And nothing to be lost because of it on NIGMA. They get everybody out in time.
And these buybacks, it's usually very crucial to save them for these big Roshan engagements. That does mean OG's not going to have them. If these 2 heroes go in first and they die, they won't be able to come back into the fight. It's very important because that's where the next fight's very likely to kick off, as the ultis on Team NIGMA will be coming back up shortly. 30 on Spectre, 15 on the Nature's Prophet. So definitely going to see some warding in the area from both sides very soon. Oh, I wonder if the Spectre does go for this build. LTW's got a pretty funky one. It's got the Arcane Blink queued up after Basher. I wonder if he does go for it. That'd be the first time I've ever seen something like that. But
if he's going Arcane, I want to see him get Axe as well, I'll be honest.
I mean, I would really much so prefer just a Scotty in this lineup versus a Jug versus a Drow. So effective.
Think about it.
Think about it.
The cooldown, and the style points. You know, everyone's trying to do something different. Everyone wants to be a trendsetter here, especially out of these 2 teams. You know it. These players like to bring something new to the table.
Ana just getting diffused up for some harass. NIGMA has everything available for themselves right now. Split pushing the side lanes, both of these offlaners doing the kind of same thing. Mind control pushing top, Seb forcing down bottom. Seb nearly has his AC finished up. That's going to be pretty huge for his team. There's not a lot of just like straight physical damage on NIGMA, but that'll still help a lot. He's got it. Pure damage. Too much.
Getting torn apart here by RTW. That's been dead for 100 seconds.
Is under attack.
And Roche is going to be up in 5 seconds as well.
Saxa, he's able to come with a hook shot, but Miracle's quick with the response. Jumps in, blows up Saxa.
Gus, the silence.
Trying to push him with the Blade Fury. GH ready at the side to help out. Anna starting to back off, because over to the side. Mind control's coming, looking towards Thompson. The Supernova's pop. They've got to start running away here.
Thompson, he's in trouble.
He's being trapped here by the Brambles. They're in on top of him. Thompson can't run. It's 3 dead on OG. Maybe before Anna. He's got the Blade Fury TP. They've not got anything to put a stop to it. So Anna makes it out. It's 3 dead. It's easily going to be enough window here for NIGMA to take this Roshan with 3 heroes down for pretty much a minute.
Yeah, and a clutch fear tip from Mind Control onto GH. As soon as they pop the egg, he fears into the back line, catches Thompson, and from there they can just chase them out and clean it up.
And this is, I mean, who's taking the shard here this game?
They can give it to either Miracle or LTW, I do think. Feels pretty effective on the 2 of them here.
Yeah, you're right. Looks like Miracle's going to take it. We see back in the action here, Stax are desperately trying to help out, but Miracle able to wait for the counterplay, gets in with the combo, and still, just with the lead that some of the heroes on NIGMA have, very hard for Anna to have an impact, especially when there's just so many units. These Omni Slashes are so hard to just sort of find the perfect situation to drop them.
And if he uses spin in those situations aggressively, that means that they can't spin and hit the egg as effectively. He can't be as covered either.
No, it's a hard jug game.
Yeah, it is. It's just been very difficult for Ana the entire game here as NIGMA 14k gold lead, re-secure their position in the game. And now just have a clear window to be able to dominate most of these fights.
That's money Kuro's got as well. He's working his way very close towards the Aghanims.
Oh, okay.
The seeds of both.
Lots of luxury on these supports for sure on the side of Team NIGMA this time around. Outpost will be taken away as well. GH will claim that. LTW does buy the ulti orb, by the way. He's being sensible. He's being a sensible boy.
As much as I'd like to see the Arcane Blink Spectre,
oh, the Brute! The Global Brute! You can't TP out. Even though the stun isn't there for the Spectre, the Global Brute, it's beautiful. As Saxa inevitably brought down from the Spectre.
And there's going to be some more chaos being brought here as well.
And he's TPing the base and getting mana, so he's going to be able to haunt back in the fight if it does kick off. So OG not going to look to take the fight themselves. They're just going to ditch No Tail. 80 seconds, no Enchantress.
Oh my goodness. I mean, there was a sort of a moment this game where it kind of felt like, hey, maybe OG's managing to slow this down, and then A few moments later, no, they weren't. They really weren't at all. NIGMA back to full steam ahead here.
It really is such a tough game for them to really win any of the actual team fights just because of what they're up against. Like this Spectre and Phoenix, the early game went way too well for Team NIGMA. They're all so farmed. They can constantly just look for these fights. Seb nearly having AC to be able to counteract the opposing AC that Mind Control has. But yeah, Mind Control, the reason that, you know, he's been always known as like this best Nature's Prophet for the last few years. Top net worth, 9-3-14, the build. Excellent this game. And it really did feel like the perfect game for it here.
Maybe, ooh, Miracle.
I got the damage with the quiver as well too. Like, doesn't even have to use the E-Blade. The quiver damage plus that combo, it's too much. Ana? Oh. He's just dead.
Oh, no.
This game is quite impossible.
It's a pretty tough one, and things are falling rapidly apart. I mean, this one, I just overall, you know, the lead the NIGMA's grown is... It's making it look even more one-sided than game one. Yep. Considering this was a game as well where OG had... I said it, a sort of a grace period where they were able to slow things down, but the overall game plan just not looking to be there from OG as NIGMA. Nope. They've just come in with the smarter execution, and they're outplaying them completely. And as you say, Mind Control and the Prophet. Maybe something that OG just weren't ready for. I mean, it's Mind Control. You know his Prophet's insane. As you say, we just don't see the hero too much from most teams, if any, in this region. Mind Control just showing us that he's as scary as ever on it. Yeah, and it's smart picks from NIGMA, right? They see the early Drow, they pick the Spectre to counter it. But they're trying to jump ILTW here. Heals. It's too much. It is. ILTW just barely taking any damage at all without Sunray coming up. The Sunray does come to an end though. See the fear from the side trying to push them back. ILTW is going to get rooted. They'll bring him down once. They can't do it again though. OG's got to back away with the Supernova going off. Over to the side, No-Tail caught outside the base. The Brambles are down. No-Tail surrounded as they'll bring the Enchantress slowly out of the game. Zana. Omni. The Omni. Oh, the cheese is there. And Sprout just under full HP. Anna's trying to push him with the Blade Fury onto Miracle. Will bring down the Tiny, but now the Blade Fury coming to an end. Anna's got to run. Mind Control commits him with the BKB. Kuro moving in with the Sunray as Kuro will finally fall to the Firestorm. But ILTW on Mind Control, they just smash into Thompson, take down the Drow. Another fight where OG just cannot come out on top. Fortunate to even get some kills there as they do that high ground advantage to be able to take out at least the Phoenix and the Tiny. But yeah, ILTW. So we said with that Aegis, level 25, he's got that dispersion talent plus the heals. They barely can actually hurt him. They even bring him down to once. Mind Control, 7,400 gold for this man. Oh, he's got the Trickster Cloak as well if he wants to keep hold of it, ILTW, so... Very nice pick. Even more unkillable Saxa. 2 rounds of the hook shot. Buys time for Seb to come in, but ILTW in fact just jumps straight over towards Seb. Moves in with the illusion. Seb's gone. So is Saxa. And now No-Tail, he's trapped. I mean, ILTW Mind Control, they're just going to keep pushing on. Anna's got to run. Pops the Blade Fury, he's making his way up to the base. ILTW, he's tempted to chase. He sure is. He's moving in. There's no Blade Fury. There's no Omni Slash. Anna's just dying helpless here behind the tier 3 in the barracks. The Spectre's just way too massive. No-Tail also likely to get brought down. Does have the Glimmer to survive for some time, but that does mean the Rax is going to get focus fired. As Mind Control gets the secondary Sprout. He's just going Mind Control. He doesn't care about the tier 4 towers. BKB. He's fine. BKB. And now 7 cell. It takes down as well. Oh, he's just dead. Oh my goodness. That was a buyback into an instant death, and they're going to get healed up in the stun. Mind Control's out. ILTW is in no situation of threat at all. He'll TP away. Radiance as the creeps will finish the Rags. Miracle comes in for the final hit. Shot. Oh, beautiful. He's called Kuro Saxa. Can they get the kill though? The Brute, he's stuck in place, and he cannot chase forward. Seb may have been tanky for some time, but versus this pure damage, Desolate just rips right through him. Time and time again. Just having a fantastic series on the carry. Yeah. Both games, TB, and then this one, the Spectre. Feels like he's getting even more involved this time around, and there he has it. He's found the illusion escape for himself. So baby. His threat at the Spectre's going to be even bigger if he wants to hold on to that one.
If he even needs it. I feel like Trickster Cloak might just be better at this point because of
just take
how tanky he is.
He's killing
honestly.
everyone anyway.
Yeah, he doesn't even
about
need
a
it.
slight boost to the illusion damage.
Yeah, look at this. Just, you see, like, the way that ILTW understands, too. He's like, oh, who cares if Seb's tanky? I have pure damage. Rips right through the Underlord when he's isolated.
Oh, just looking fantastic this series, NIGMA. They have turned up to this series very, very ready, and OG just...
Anna?
What do they do? Mind control for BKB and a TPO, he's out. Again, GH giving the coverage with the fear, making sure that OG's not allowed the time space to continue to commit in onto the mind control.
Toxa will die again. 14 deaths on the clock.
Level 27.
27. Trickster Cloak as well, providing all this evasion.
Found the avalanche, mind control, ready to jump forward to the front line. RTW, they take down NOTA. Anna's trying to spin his way up with the blade through, but the damage is too much with the physical. They take down Anna, take down Saxa.
Is under attack.
The G's are going to get dropped.
I mean, it's getting dangerously close to the fountain here now. Omnislash, again, just doing nothing at this stage of the game as it's a dive back from Anna. Seb, he's going to try and rift himself out of the server. Only makes it as far as the fountain as everybody's dead. GG is called. Another rough one here for OG as NIGMA have just a beautiful series. Both games looking perfect.
They darn. And it's really crazy to say it's 50 kills on the team with a Spectre. The team with the Drow Jug only gets 17. Can't actually dictate the pace at all. NIGMA